So in the women's competition, out first, qualified in 10th place yesterday, was the Ukraine's Stefania Pirahova. Out second from Poland was Olga KOSEK. Third from Finland was ENNI BERTLING. Fourth, also from Finland, MIRA ALHONSUO. So we're in reverse order. She qualified sixth. Fifth was MARION. Sixth was Zenab Kobromusavi. Seventh, Shabda Masadi. Eighth, Valeria Bogdan. Ninth, Mariam Filipova. And 10th, Maria Tolokanina. Climbing is now underway. Stefania Pirahova of the Ukraine beginning with her route. 7 minutes for each athlete. So tricky Stein move there off that first volume. Big swing up with the right hand by the looks of it. Amazing light in the background here, the golden afternoon light of Moscow. Reaches up to that hook on the right-hand side. Very tenuous hook. Metal rivet type placement. And advances up to clip number 1. Cuts loose there just on the nose of that big triangular volume. Struggling to get a foot placement, but manages to bridge across. Takes a little second to shake. That's clip number 2. It's the first time she's competed in a World Championship or World Cup event. If you are tuned in, let us know where you are watching from. Drop us a message in the chat box. Who are you supporting? Who are you cheering for? Let us know in that chat box. Some big names missing from this competition. Unseon Shin, Hanare Song, Ema McSwiggan, Petra Klingler. Not seeing any of those big female names in this World Championship event. Number of reasons for that. No Angelika Reiner. No Swiss team at all. Oh, and it's a pop there on the underside of that first hanging box. Didn't quite have the placement on that tool as she needed it. That's a swift ejection for Stefania Pirahova. She'll go back now, get herself warm and watch to see where her attempts place her amongst the other competitors. And out next, of course, it is Olga KOSEK of Poland. It's warmed up a little this afternoon compared to this morning. It's about -10 now rather than -14 Celsius. There is bib number 110, OLGA KOSEK. Very good afternoon to everyone that's tuned in. If people tuned in from Kenya, all over the world. If you are enjoying the competition, then please do share the broadcast. Hit that share button. Tag someone who you think might enjoy it. Let's get this out to as many people as we can. Hello to those tuned in on the Extreme channel. And of course the Olympic channel. We're also live on the UIAA YouTube channel as well as their Facebook feed. So wherever you are watching, we'd love to hear from you. So there goes OLGA KOSEK moving with conviction through those first moves. OLGA KOSEK now bridging out onto that right-hand pillar after making clip number 2. Locks off that left hand to take the hook with the right. And we see her move up now through that steeper section. Matching picks on that undercut there to take that golf ball by clip number 3. Into that powerful Stein. Taking a second to shake that before things get really steep and very, very physical indeed. See OLGA KOSEK there making full use of the length on the handle of the axe. Really taking it at the tip to reach out behind her, and you see the box swinging. Athletes have got to account for that movement. Makes keeping the tension very difficult, and you see kicking the feet into the underside of the box allows for them to just control that swing ever so slightly, use the momentum as opposed to have it used against them. Makes the first clip on the box. Continues to move around that box and now heading towards clip number 8. And this is where she'll have to actually get a little higher on the box, almost kind of a mantle type move. Oh, and she's off. Very powerful move. I was just about to say, Olga's one of our taller competitors, and that move is what the taller competitors struggled with yesterday. It was just proved too much there for Olga, who finishes just above clip number 6. Great effort from the pole. Puts her into pole position, if you'll pardon the pun. And out next will be our first Finnish athlete of the lead finals. It will be ENNI BERTLING. Just to recap, these athletes have 7 minutes to climb this route. And their climbing here this afternoon directly correlates to their speed result. Being a combined championship, your speed and lead results are multiplied. Person with the lowest multiplied score is the winner. For example, Maria Tolokonina placed first this morning, yesterday in the lead qualifiers, and placed second this morning in speed finals. If those results were to stay the same, so she won lead today, she took the second place in the speed, then her final position would be 2. If Marion Filipova, who placed second in lead yesterday and third in speed today, stayed the same, her final result, 3 multiplied by 2, is 6. Therefore, 2 is lower than 6. Therefore, 2, Maria Tolokonina beats 6, Marion Filipova, and wins. So that's how it works. You multiply the 2 scores together, gives you the lowest cumulative score as the winner. For those that didn't compete in the speed final this morning, their result stands from yesterday, so 9 and 10. They couldn't have the opportunity to better that 9th or 10th. It's the same case in the men's. So in 17 people in the men's, only 8 competed in the speed finals this morning. So 9th through 17th place cannot better that result. And they have to hope for the best possible result in lead to give them a chance of being in with a podium position. And of course, it all depends on what the other athletes do as well. Route setters there just using the scissor lift to get up and get Olga KOSEK's axe out, which is firmly steined in place. As I mentioned, we love to hear from you on social media. Wherever you're watching from, do get in touch. If you're watching on Facebook, then drop us a message in that chat box. You can also get in touch with me directly using @LiamLonsdale, and of course on YouTube as well. We'd love to hear from you. Some prepared competitors with, rather spectators, with their hot flasks. So here comes ENNI BERTLING of Finland. Places her tools to take off her jacket and get prepared. And so here begins ENNI BERTLING. Placed 5th this morning in the speed. Should be looking to do whatever she can to better that result. Quickly out rightwards, past that first clip and towards the right-hand pillar. Just trying to make sense of what to do here. Looked at placing a backhand on that red hold, but instead opted for a safer hook with the right on the blue one. So makes progress now from clip number 2 up to the golf ball with the left hand. Matches in with the right on the high grip on that tool there and makes the clip. Moving now into that box section. Starts to get more powerful as she heads towards clip number 5. Great to see so many people tuning in from all over the world. Matthew Thomas is an American in South Korea. He said he's going ice climbing for the first time in January. Well, the Ice Climbing World Cup Tour comes to South Korea in January. We'd love to see you out there. If you can get yourself to Cheongsong, South Korea, you'd be more than welcome as a spectator. Come and get on board. Let us know where you're watching from, who you are supporting. ENNI BERTLING now in that difficult Stein position. Oh, and there pops out again. Same place as OLGA KOSEK. As I said, those taller competitors tend to struggle with that big box. Difficult position to get in that difficult Stein position. Oh, and there pops out again. In that position, they need to be getting the weight down rather than below the axe, down onto the axe, as opposed to underneath it. I know that sounds very similar. It's hard to describe, but that seems to be the problem there. You can see there Stefania Pirahova and ENNI BERTLING discussing the route. Lots of media here taking pictures of the event. Next climber out will be MIRA ALHONSUO, also of Finland. Another tall athlete, so we'll have to see how she fares on that 6th clip at the box. So here goes MIRA ALHONSUO. One of 5 Finnish climbers here at the first ever UIAA Ice Climbing World Combined Championships. Big Stein to start off that black volume. Reaches up into that left hook nice and easy. So MIRA now on that right-hand pillar, moving up towards clip number 3, off that undercut. Oh no! A low pop. And a very disappointing performance for MIRA ALHONSUO. She'll have been hoping for way better than that. Hard to say what happened there. You can see it in her eyes. Annoyed with herself. Oh no! That left hand pops off the golf ball. Just lost tension on it. Discussing that route there with teammate ENNI BERTLING. Such a shame and such a basic mistake to make. And here is young Russian climber MARION Thomas. French, obviously, not Russian. I said Russian because I was looking at the river in the background and thinking of Moscow. And this is, of course, French climber MARION Thomas. Had a great pre-season at the European events. Tightens her gloves up, makes her final preparations. Here she goes. So Marion Thomas moving quickly up that left pillar to start. Great to hear Matthew Thomas is thinking of coming and joining us in Cheongsong, South Korea. If you are in any of the host countries during the Ice Climbing World Cups, we'd love to see you there. First round of the tour is Cheongsong, South Korea. From there, we go on to Beijing, China, followed by Saas-Fee, Switzerland, onto Rabenstein in northern Italy. After that, we venture out to the USA, I believe, to Denver, Colorado. From Denver, we go on to Chamonix in France, and we finish the season in Kirov in Russia. If you're in any of those areas, we'd love to see you. For more information, go to the UIAA website. Marion Thomas now using her hands on that hold and clip 3. Totally permitted. The rules do say that you're allowed to use your hands on the holds. We know that Petra Klingler famously won a gold medal using her hands on the holds back in Kirov in 2015. Many of these ice climbers are also strong rock climbers as well. Marion Thomas much shorter than the other competitors that have been climbing so far. Let's see how she fares with this move over on the box now. Moving really dynamically, really fluidly through the first part of this steep section. Looking a little bit pumped. See her shaking there between each move. Reaches around the corner now. Looking really comfortable there in that position for 7th clip. And you see the shorter... Oh, she's popped off. She did get the 7th clip in that position for 7th clip. And you see the shorter... Oh, she's popped off. She did get the 7th clip. Being shorter, she can get up on top of the box, keep that center of gravity high so that she's able to really torque on that Stein pull, whereas the taller climbers' center of gravity was much lower. They weren't able to put enough torque through the pick and therefore were popping off. Marion Thomas, 1 clip higher than the likes of ENNI BERTLING, MIRA ALHONSUO and OLGA KOSEK. to Marion Thomas reviewing a performance there with MIRA ALHONSUO, who had that unfortunate low fall. The next athlete out, our first Iranian female, Zainab Kobra-Musavi. Had a really promising season last year. Definitely one to watch coming into this year. Zainab Kobra-Musavi struggling with that right foot placement on that first move. Expect her to find that flow a little bit higher up. Just needs to stay on the wall at this point. Zainab Kobra-Musavi now moving up into the position past that first clip. Stepping rightwards onto the right-hand pillar. And that hanging nose feature does move a little bit. You can see the give when she moves away on that left foot. So got to keep that center of gravity fixed. Got to keep the focus. Great to have so many people tuned in from all over the world. If you are just joining us, you are tuned in live to the inaugural UIAA Ice Climbing World Combined Championships. We're at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow. My name is Liam Lonsdale. We are just over halfway through the women's lead final of this combined format. To recap on the way the positioning works, your final position in lead will be multiplied by your final position in speed, and the overall lowest combined score is the winner. For example, if you place first in speed, final position in speed, and the overall lowest combined score is the lowest score, then you would be the winner. It is possible to get a tie. In that instance, the lowest combined positions would be the winners. More on that later on if we need to worry about it. Zainab Kobra-Musavi now running into that Fig 9 position as she goes through the steepest section into the box. Into a Fig 9 over the left hand. Makes clip number 5. Three minutes and 42 seconds elapsed on this attempt so far. That's clip number 6 made, and now we're going to see her get on top of that box. Have to wait and see if she can move past clip 7. Marion Thomas currently in the first place with clip 7 made. See that light coming ever more golden now as the sun's beginning to set. Oh, she's off! Was not expecting that. She looked in great control, but it seems that there's a bit of a stopper move there. Several athletes falling at that box. Shahida Kazimova has got in touch to say, well done, Zainab, and indeed, that was a great effort from Iran's Zainab Kobra Musavi. Another Iranian athlete out next, it'll be Shabnam Asadi. Can see the look of confusion on the athletes' faces. They're really not sure what they're supposed to have done differently with those boxes. Very difficult moves, very technical and powerful at the same time. Still all smiles from Zainab Kobra Musavi as we wait for our next athlete. "27 athletes from 10 countries competing in this inaugural World Championships." See Alexei Dengin on your screen there. Dengin not competing in this competition. No doubt we'll be seeing him at the competitions in the World Cup season, though. If you are enjoying what you're seeing, then don't forget to subscribe to the UIAA ice climbing page. If you search UIAA International Climbing and Mountaineering Federation, you'll find that. You'll be notified every time we go live or publish a video. And there is Shabnam Asadi of Iran. Just working out exactly what it is that she needs to do. Refreshing her memory before she gets on this women's finals route here. So far, no athletes have advanced past that 7th clip. Marion Thomas sitting in 1st place. With only 4 athletes remaining. Shabnam Masadi, the 4th one of those. Following her will be Valeria Bogdan, Mariam Filipova, and Maria Tolokonina. It's been thoroughly interesting to see how the Iranian team has developed over the past seasons. When they first started in these competitions, some of them had never even seen ice axes before, and now they are a formidable force. And of course, Mohammad Reza Safdarian taking the first gold medal and the first team medal for Iran last season in Sazfeh and Rabenstein. Shabnam Masadi finished 10th in the speed competition. So the best result she could get here is 10. That would be if she won the lead round. If she managed to come second, then the score would be 20. Third would be 30. And onwards, we multiply those scores together. Reaches across in that bridged backhand and places the rope into quick draw number 2. Shabnam Masadi moving well now off that golf ball up into the right-hand hook before she makes clip number 4. There is clip 4. Oh, just missed it there. There it is. Takes a second to shake before she moves across that steep roof into those hanging boxes. Shout out to George and Rusty who are watching from Arizona, USA. And Shabnam Asadi now in that overhanging section. So here we go now, moving up left hand onto the left-hand side of that cube. This is where it starts to get interesting. 3 athletes have come a cropper at this move. What we know she needs to do is get the right tool into the Stein on that green hold, fixed onto that Scaladrome volume. Exactly the move. And now needs to get the center of gravity right on top of the box so that she can lean up and back off that Stein. It's a really tricky move, and you can see because the left foot's so high, she's not able to kick it in. So at this moment in time, she's just standing on the crampons as opposed to having kicked them into the ply. This is where Marion Thomas fell. It's also where ENNI BERTLING and OLGA KOSEK fell. Just by touching that hole, she's now into first place. Shabnam Asadi moving really well now. Flicks that left leg over into a fig 9. Just struggling to make clip 8 there. Oh, she dropped off. Apparently her time was up. Great effort nonetheless from Shabnam Asadi. Making it to where she did, she's now in first place. We'll have to see how Valeria Bogdan, Mariam Filipova and Maria Tolokonina fare with the next part of this final. So we're just waiting now for Valeria Bogdan. Temperature's starting to drop now as the sun drops. And here comes Valeria Bogdan. Placed first in the speed final this morning. If she secures first here this afternoon, she's guaranteed a win. Perfect score of 1. Second place was, of course, Maria Tolokanina in the speed this morning. Basically, with the 2 top 3s from speed and lead, if we just stick with the results from lead qualies yesterday, speed finals this morning, Filipova, Tolokanina and Bogdan all have a very real chance of winning and all have a very real chance of tying. So it's important to keep an eye on who scores what in this lead final round. Bogdan just reminding herself of the route before she sets off. Here she goes. Bogdan, the young protege of Maria Tolokanina. So we've seen that the move off the box is possible. Shebnem Asadi climbing through that. And what we're waiting to see now is if a little bit more time will allow someone to climb to the end. Valeria Bogdan, one of the faster climbers, but with not quite as much experience as the likes of Filipova or Tolokanina, could be the one to show us the way. Bogdan on that golf ball there. Makes clip number 3. Despite being low on the route, we know that this move's not easy. We saw ALHONSUO fall here. Little lapse of concentration. Just released the body tension and a left hand came flying off and the body followed. No problem for Bogdan though, as she reaches up with that left hand. Makes clip number 4. Moving really well at this moment in time, just over halfway through her attempt. Just less than 3 minutes remaining on the clock. Rather, just over 3 minutes remaining on the clock. Places that tricky left hand. Just struggling to find the right pick placement on that hold. So here we go. You see her now moving off that fig four with the left hand, trying to get up onto the top of that box, and that smaller size, smaller frame basically allows her to get that center of gravity right below the pick. She's double knees on here. Those knees have zero friction whatsoever. But you can see that the tension from the knees is enough just to keep her in position to then reposition and get that left foot on. Under 2 minutes remaining. She leans out with that left hand. It's a difficult cut loose here. The fact that she's on that right knee means that she can't extend off the hands. Really needs to try and readjust that right foot. You can see it's kind of locking her in. There it is. The right knee just drops down, you can see, as the left hand goes out. Not quite able to find the best position. There it is. She's committing to it. Just a little bit of adjustment as she goes into the fig 9. Releases the tool out of that green stein and now needs to make clip number 8. Clock's ticking. In the final minute of her attempt now, makes clip number 8. That puts her into the lead. Valeria Bogdan now sits in first place ahead of Shabnam Asadi. And this is game on for a stab at the gold medal here at the World Combined Championships. Reaches backhand. Really strong. Makes clip number 9 and it's racing towards the top now. 12 clips in total on this route and she's at 9. Can she make 10? Big reach down. Smart move from the young competitor. It's going to be time up any second. And there it is. That's the clock being called. 10 clips for Valeria Bogdan. It's as close as we're seeing from anyone to get into that 12th and the top. And now the gauntlet has been set for Filipova and Maria Tolokanina. Bogdan's done all she can. First place in speed. Current first place in lead. Will it be a perfect score for the young Russian? Filipova and Tolokanina are the only ones that can decide that now. Very much a game of the numbers now. We wait and see who's going to come out on top. Tolokanina wants to win this World Championship. She has to win in the lead. The only way that that could be different, and bear with me here because I've just done some quick figures and quick maths, is if Tolokanina came second, Filipova won, and they both pushed Bogdan into third, then Bogdan would be third. And the reason that is because the lead result takes precedent over the speed result. So in a situation where Filipova was first, Tolokanina was second, and Bogdan was third in the lead, that would put Tolokanina into second overall. It would put Filipova into first overall, and Bogdan into second overall. It's very, very interesting, and it's all about multiplications. If Tolokanina wins and Bogdan is third, this is only in lead, bear in mind, then Filipova's second in lead wouldn't be enough to give her a silver medal, so she would be in the bronze position overall. I hope you're following. I've written it down in front of me, so hopefully I'll be able to keep you guys on track as we go. Marion Filipova now, bib 106. Very, very familiar name in these ice climbing World Cup and World Championship competitions. She's been around for a very long time. Very composed, very controlled, and of course, very strong. So Filipova now at clip number 4. Moving into that steep section. We've seen this box section cause some problems for several of the athletes so far. Only Bogdan and Asadi managing to make it through. Bogdan currently sitting in first place. Marion Filipova, an outdoor research athlete. Outdoor Research is the new title sponsor of the UIAA Ice Climbing World Combined Championships and World Cups for 2019 season. So you'll see lots of new OR jackets wandering around and the Outdoor Research logo on all of the competitions. Of course, we have to say a big thank you to those guys. These competitions would not be possible without their support. In that Fig 9 now, she needs to mount that box. See her standing on that hold with the crampon, trying to give herself a little bit more leverage, give those hips a little bit of height. She's actually heel hooking the hold on top of that volume with the left foot. Interesting strategy. Using all that experience. And now she's got that left leg on top, and that's the crucial position. She looks in a really stable position there. Good posture. Reaches out with that left hand. Not quite got the positioning yet. Two feet on the box now. And this is a very strenuous position. Not quite finding that left hand as she wants it. Has a little look over her shoulder. Takes a second to shake. Clock ticks down. And there it is. You see that she's got, oh, the tool pops. Filipova's out of there. Now, what we can tell you is that that puts her into second place behind Bogdan. So the best that Filipova can get now is second place. Let's assume that she's in second place. It's possible that she didn't clip number 8, I'm being told. So let's assume that she clipped number 7. That'll put her into fourth place, which means if that is the case, I've got to do a lot more maths before I can tell you who is in the right position for the overall championship. Let's assume that she's fourth. The fourth place here gives her a total of I'm being told lots of conflicting information, as you can probably tell. Right, I'm going to go with my own gut feelings here. Thank you to our score assistant for telling me what the scores are. Here we go. Let's assume that Mariam Filipova comes fourth. Let's assume that Tolokanina gets past, that Shabnam Asadi sits ahead of her in this round, and that Tolokanina passes her. That would mean that Mariam Filipova sits fourth in the lead and third in the speed, which gives her a total of 12 points. Now, Shabnam Asadi, if she sits in third with her 10th position, that gives her 30 points. So she's way, way back. Now, if Tolokanina falls low, that would put Shabnam Asadi in second position, which would give her 20 points. And then, so many maths, Valeria Bogdan would still be first because she'd have a perfect score. And if Tolokanina was lower than Filipova, so Filipova was third, then she would be in second place because she'd have 9 points. I'm confusing myself, but I know what I'm saying. I know what I mean. One of our viewers has asked, what's the difference between the World Championships and the World Cup? Well, that's a great question. World Championships, this is actually a different format to the World Cups. So the World Championships in this event, it's a combined format, which means the athletes are given a combined score based on their speed and lead rankings in this competition. in a World Cup event, athletes can specialise in one or the other, and their scores are individual based on those events. On top of that, the World Cup has a number of different medals that can be won. You can win a medal at the event, so you can take gold medal in the World Cup in Cheongsong, gold medal in the World Cup in Sasfei, a silver medal in Beijing, for example. And each position, each rank gives you a point or a number of points. And at the end of the season, the climber with the most combined points is the overall World Cup winner. And of course, these athletes are looking to get the most combined points, and they're looking to get that overall World Cup title. The World Championships is all about the scores and the results on the day. So it's a one-weekend event, and we're looking to get the best results of the weekend. The other thing is the World Championship format that we're experimenting with here is likely to be the format that would be proposed for an Olympic bid. So if winter climbing went to the Olympics, this is probably a similar format to what we would expect to see in a Winter Olympics. Keep your fingers crossed for that one. Who knows? Miracles can happen. So Tolkanina now at clip number 3. Every move she makes will push her further up those rankings. The higher she is in these rankings in the lead will affect, of course, her combined ranking overall. We'll then have an interview with the overall winner, whomever that is, shortly after the women's competition's finished, between the women's and the men's transition. The men's competition will begin about 10 minutes after the women's finishes. The route setters have to make a couple of changes to the quick draw positioning. You can see the men's route goes left. And they also need to do the men's route preview. We won't go off air, we'll stay live. There'll be a short break between the two. Tolkanina moving really fast. Wastes no time at all. I actually think we could be in for a top here. If we do get a top here, then that'll put Tolkanina into first place in lead. And that multiplied by a second place in speed gives her 2 points. And of course, that's the score that Valeria Bogdan would have. She would be pushed down into second place in the lead with her first in speed. That's also 2 points. The lead result takes precedent. So what that would mean is that Tolkanina would be crowned world combined champion. Tolokanina now moving towards clip number 10. Making that clip's going to put her in contention with Bogdan now for that first place. If she can make a couple more moves and get that 11th clip, then it's guaranteed. See what happens here. She's moving so fast into that hanging splinter. Just looking behind her for that clip. Big reach with that left hand. Kicks across onto the next hanging feature. So good from Maria Tolokanina. You can see clip number 12 on the top, beckoning ever closer. Can she clip it? Yes, she can. That's clip number 11 made, which means Maria Tolokanina has moved ahead of Valeria Bogdan in the overall rankings now. We'll have to wait for the judges' official result, but that will mean that Maria Tolokanina is the first ever World Combined Format champion. And what a way to finish it would be if she can top this route. Reaches with the left hand into the Stein. Into the fig 4, back into the figure 9. Undercut on clip number 12 into that Stein. And now she's going to reach around to make clip 12. There it is. And one or two more moves to go. You can see reaches onto that blue hold around the other side of the cube. And dynamically moves onto that top hold. Limited space. Doesn't quite clip it, but reaches the top. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. She won her first ever overall title in 2009. She has won gold medals at pretty much every venue on the World Cup circuit. She's been dominant for almost a decade. And yet again, she comes away with another title. Maria Tolokanina of Russia, 31 years old, is crowned the 2018 UIAA Ice Climbing World Combined Champion. And what a way to do it as well. Here in her home country, the crowd in Moscow, very pleased to see a winner from their home country. And of course, the first event of the 2019 season here. She's set the tone. The Koreans will be watching. The Canadians will be watching. Everyone that's not here will be watching. And they will be seeing how strong Tolokanina is. But not just Tolokanina, Bogdan and Filipova as well. And they will know that come 3 weeks' time when we arrive in Cheongsong, Korea, Tolokanina is going to be firing on all cylinders. Just a few moments' time, we're going to have an interview with Maria Tolokanina. And then we'll have the men's route preview. So we have got Maria Tolokanina here now. Through a translator, we'll be able to ask her some questions. First of all, Maria, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
The first ever World Combined Format Champion. How does that feel?
Я очень рада, потому что это первый старт в сезоне.
I'm very happy because it was the first event in the season.
И, наверное, это немножко сложнее, чем
And I think it's more difficult.
дальше будут продолжать.
Like then it will be further.
The first time you won the overall title was in 2009. We're almost 10 years on from that now, and still you're dominating. What's the secret, and how have you stayed so strong?
Какой твой секрет, что ты все еще доминируешь 2009?
Я смотрю на своих конкурентов и стараюсь тренироваться
I
больше.
really watch my competitors and I just try to train more.
Ничего не боюсь.
Like I'm not afraid of anything.
Готова бороться с
And
любой
I'm
сильной
ready to
спортсменкой.
fight anyone, any strong competitor.
Fighting talk indeed. And how are you feeling about the 2019 World Cup season?
Какие ощущения насчет 2019 года?
Я еще наращиваю форму. Я думаю,
I'm
что
still training, still like getting better in my
к началу
shape,
января
and
я
I
буду
think
еще
that
сильнее.
by the beginning of January I'll be even stronger.
Even stronger.
Нет предела.
Well, there is no limit for that.
Oh my gosh. Well, you heard it here first. Maria Tolokanina is absolutely motivated to come out and take another overall title. Maria, congratulations one more time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We'll hear more from her, no doubt, over the rest of the season. We're going to take a short break now. Stick with us, and we'll be back with the men's lead final in just a few moments.